What's going on, sir? Are you all right? Yes, Henry. I'm fine. Just anxious is all. My son is returning home today. Oh, from the front lines? Yes, I'm just anxious to see him. We have a lot to talk about. Like what? Well, I'm not getting any younger, Henry. I'm going to have to step down from this position eventually, and I need someone to take my place. Well, I wouldn't tell him as soon as he arrives, sir. He's probably very overwhelmed from all that's happening. I know. Still, it's a discussion I intend to have with him sooner rather than later. Oh, Father, there you are. Hello, Charles. Good to see you again. Good to see you too. Come, let's get caught up. Wow, I don't think I've seen the Fat Controller that happy in years. Well, his son's been gone for almost 6 years. I can't imagine he's thrilled to see him again. And relieved. So many people aren't going to experience that feeling. Very true. Say, speaking of which, wasn't the Duke of Sodor in the same division Charles was in? And he didn't make it. Oh dear. Yeah, that was rough. One of the worst parts of the war for me personally. Tell me, are you doing all right? I've been better, to be honest. That was a war unlike any other. I know. The officials are already calling it the deadliest war in human history. I just hope the world learned its lesson for real this time. We aren't quite out of it yet. The US is still fighting Japan in the Pacific, but for us and for you specifically, your fight is done. Bless the Lord for that. There's a lot of people I want to catch up to. Well, there's a party at the sheds tonight if you wish to see the engines again. That'd be great. I've missed them all terribly. Any new additions? No, sadly, I haven't been able to afford any. That's unfortunate. Still, I look forward to seeing them. Sounds like not much has changed for you all since I left, huh? Not really, no. Mid-Sodor is a different story. Still struggling? It's gotten worse since you left. It wouldn't surprise me if it shut down the next few months. That's a real shame. How's the Skarloey Railway doing? Not much better, I'm afraid. Ah, George, good to see you. What do you mean? Well, passenger services are dwindling like the MSR, but that's not the real issue. What is it then? Well, and I hate to say this, but Skarloey and Rheneas, they're really getting on in years, and the cost of maintaining them is getting more and more expensive. Really? What do you plan to do? Well, scrap is out of the question, obviously, but they're both very persistent and stubborn, so I'm hoping they just hold through until I can get more help and lighten their load a bit. That's good. Well, I'm going to go speak to your father. Good to see you again, Charles. You too, George. So, Charles, what are you planning to do now that you're back on Sodor? I don't know, Percy. I might return to work at Croven's Gate, but I might take a small break. Get back out there and mingle a bit, you know? Ah, looking to settle down, are you? Well, if I want to keep the Hat legacy going, yes. You know, the mayor of Farquhar's daughter is here. Really? She's not married? Nope. She's around your age, isn't she? I think so. About a year younger. Well, she's right over there. Perhaps. It's been a long time, though. You two knew each other? Oh, they more than knew each other, Percy. You really had to say it like that, didn't you? Real mature. Oh, come on, that was funny. Oi, look who's back. Hey, James. What's going on? Nothing much. Heard your little conversation with Thomas and Percy. First night back and you're already looking to settle? Oh, Lord, you too. Oh, come on, I'm only teasing. In all seriousness, you've got to find someone sooner or later. I mean, come on, you're 27. 27 and serving in a war for the last 6 years, James. He hasn't had any time to settle down. He's been home twice since the war began. Thank you, Edward. But James is right. I really need to settle down before I take control of the railway. I already have a good job, now it's about focusing on other things. Exactly. So I suggest you go over there and talk to her so you can make some progress on that. What made you some sort of romance expert? You're an engine. I brought those two lovebirds over there together, remember? I took them away on their wedding day too. Forget wedding carriages, me, myself, and I was all that was needed. Your ego is scary. It wouldn't be a conversation with James if he didn't brag about something. Just do whatever you wish, Charles. Don't feel pressure to settle down just because of your age. I appreciate the support, Edward. Good grief, they didn't let you breathe. You heard that? God, yes. I find it so ironic that they're talking locomotives and yet they know so much about us humans. Well, do they feel love? Well, they do, just not in a romantic sort of way. The engines love each other and us humans like family, and they have family-like dynamics as well. Look at Thomas and Percy or Henry and James. Very true. Anyway, I'm going to go talk with other people. Someone in particular you're looking to talk to? Oh, knock it off. So, how do Charles and Mr. Crowley's daughter know each other? They went to high school together. She transferred to Kronk and that's how they met. Did they have a relationship? Sort of. It was hard to tell what it was. He'd travel up my branch line in the morning to visit her all the time. They'd always meet up at the station. Never really asked about it though. Romance isn't really my thing. Well, yeah, you're a train. Were you built yesterday or did you just say that to piss me off? No, it's just funny seeing you get mad. God, you two are something else. Enjoy yourself last night? Yes, it was great catching up with everyone. How about Amanda? Things went well with her. We did a bit of catching up, but I asked if we could meet another time to continue catching up. And she agreed. We're going out to the Knapford Diner on Friday night. Good for you. I was actually thinking about taking Jane there this weekend. The business there is booming. Honestly, anything that'll take my mind off the war helps. Oh, I imagine. Go out and relax. You've earned it. Thank you, Father. Morning, you two. Morning, Charles. Well, how were things with you and Amanda last night? Oh, lay off him, James. It's fine, thank you, Edward. It went pretty well last night, but I wanted to ask you two something. Has my father been acting strange at all lately? Not really, no. Come to think of it, he doesn't seem nearly as tough as he used to be. That's what I was thinking. And he was always so hesitant to let me go out with friends, especially women. Why is he so lenient now? Maybe it's just because you just got back from the war and he knows you've been through a lot. And plus, you're older now, you're 27. You live on your own and you have your own job. Although you will inherit the estate when Bertram passes. True, but is he different around you all? A little bit. But if anything, he's more likable now than before. Age can make or break how you act, I suppose. For better or for worse, he's definitely changed a good bit. I think I might have to speak with him about this. And he said you'd inherit the estate as well? Yes. You have a problem with that? Oh, you won't see me complain, I'll say that. Do you know when you'll take his place? He hasn't given any hint to retirement, so I'd say give it another decade or so. I think he wants to at least wait and see what happens after the entirety of the war is finished. That makes sense. Your father did a fantastic job with the railway during the war. Morale was low for a while, but after the Battle of Britain, I've never seen it higher. And it never stopped either. True. How are things going at Farquhar? Fine. Not much has changed, although Percy will shine at the big station once in a while. You know a thing or two about railways now, huh? You could say that. I don't want to sound greedy, but I'm shocked your father hasn't given any hint of retiring. I think his main goal right now is to get the NWR, MSR, and SR out of this hole they've been in since 1929, and then he'll probably retire. Mr. Hugh, too. Well, I wish you luck with that. Thank you. Care to walk the town? Gladly. What are you doing in here, Charles? Just looking around. Well, I'll make some tea for you. Thanks. What is this? Like what you see? Gah! Oh, Father, it's you. Sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you. You have a Victoria Cross? Yes. Wow. I knew you served in the Second Boer War, but I didn't realize you were so highly respected. I was a colonel, actually. Really? Why haven't you told me about this? Well, because I don't look back at that time very fondly. Yeah, I do understand that. War's no joke. We saw horrible things. They had concentration camps for the Boers and Africans. Not nearly as bad as the ones I'm hearing about this war, but the conditions were awful. That's one thing I'll never forgive myself for. Forcing all those families into concentration camps. Were you opposed to it? It didn't matter. My opinion was irrelevant. It also didn't help that I was extremely homesick. Part of that was because I was in a pretty similar situation as you. How so? I understand to a degree what you were going through while you were away. And it's because, well, I was also in love. You met my mother before you left, didn't you? I was in love with your mother before I left. Seriously? Yes. I was sent to Africa just weeks after I confessed my love to her. I was worried that I wouldn't make it back, or that she would find another man. Those thoughts just added to the levels of stress I was under. That's why I've been so easy on you these last few weeks, because I know what you've been going through. I've been there. Thank you. If it makes you feel any better, you won't have to worry. Really? Yes, just ask any of the Farquhar engines. She asked about you constantly. She'd visit me at least once a month, always asked about you, and tried to soak in some railway knowledge of her own. Wow. You found a good one, Charles. Don't forget that. Thank you, Father.